Hi everyone. Okay. So let's first, this is, I think we're at episode, I don't even know. I think, are we at episode, yeah, episode 3, season 1 of Grown in Gospel. Okay, so let's go through the the cast real quick. Jay Brooks gets on the phone with Brienne and with Bree, and Jay is out in Mexico on vacation. Like I said, Jay and Bree are the only two people on this series that is pretty cool. Jay is trying to keep the peace, and Bree is just a sweetheart. The rest of these people, how can I say this nicely, have some serious other issues that we need to think about. And they're clearly not fan favorites. How about that? Okay. So Jay Brooks, for the rest of this episode, he's on vacay. Mhm. Brienne meets up with Elijah, and Elijah wants to do a fashion shoot for Brienne. And in order to do this fashion shoot for Brienne someplace else, wherever, they get together. Elijah apologizes. Brienne goes to the fashion shoot to try to figure out if this is something that's not going to make her look horrid. See how I did that? Okay. And Brienne, and so Brienne and Elijah hook up to have a conversation. Elijah decides to Elijah wants Brienne to react to her throwing away her shoes from with like a little joke, and he doesn't understand that this is triggering for her. What I find really fascinating, I'm gonna be honest, like Elijah continues to keep talking about, I'm trying to do this whole, my friends has to be good because I look good. You can't be around me and not look good, and you can't dress like, I'm gonna be honest. As much as I understand, okay, let me tell you what. I'm gonna give an example. I'm an only child, and my sorority sister, I love her, and she watches my show. So this is gonna be so. She's gonna crack up when she sees it. My dean. There was one. I love being a little sister to her, and it always unlocks my like inner child. And one thing she did years ago, and my cousin, I love like bothering her like she's a big sister to me when I'm her little cousin. So we were all going to Fridays, and this is when it's supposed to go like this, y'all. My thing. So my cousin, okay, so all three of us were supposed to, this is when we were all in our 20s. We were going to Fridays in Ladera. And Ladera, for those of you who do not know, you're not familiar, in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, Ladera Fridays, when Magic Johnson opened up Fridays, it used to be so much so the spot that there was a line down the street. It was a great place. You would think that we were going to the club. It was a great place. The, the service was horrible. I got stories. It is not the spot to go for good food. I'm not even sure if it was a spot for decent drinks, but it was the spot to go to mingle. So I come out the house with some capri sweats that were form fitting and some pink, two different color socks on that were like leggings that went all the way up to mid thigh and some pink Timberlands. I don't even remember the shirt. I don't even remember the shirt. And my dean was like, I'm not going out in public with you. She literally was like, you need to go back in the house and change. And my cousin didn't care. She was just like, she thought it, but she wasn't going to tell me, which is kind of funny because she would tell me if I'm looking funny, but she just busted up laughing because Mercedes was like, my dean was like, you need to go and change your clothes. We are not leaving this house until you figure it out. My point is, as funny as that is, I did go and change my clothes. Like, even though I was still comfortable with looking like a hot mess, I was in the space of looking like a hot mess, and I just look like I just. she, she's like, look, you can look a hot mess, but not with me. And the thing is, so I understand in some capacity with Elijah, and even my line sister, like we always have these conversations, and I think that over the years I have been harsh by being like, look, you are out of all of us, you need to reevaluate what's going on in your life because you have so much potential and you're not reaching it, and it is frustrating to watch. So all of those things I completely understand for sure. However, the way that Elijah moves, even though you may think that this is with loving kindness, this is not loving kindness. And if I ever treated someone like I'm treating Shayna, I apologize because it's horrible to see how he's moving and behaving with her. And even when and his apology is like, I apologize for putting the boots in the trash. But like in your confessionals, you're still acting like you feel justified by being. Now, later on, we do get the thing. We do get it all together. And she's just like, I sing life music. Okay, fine. But how are you gonna make this look? I love Brie and her nice little retorts because she goes, no, I don't sing gospel, but it doesn't mean that I'm not godly. In the sense that I am not trying to look like a person laid out all over the bed, looking like I'm taking you to bed. And I feel that energy legitly. I loved it. And it absolutely, positively, the photo shoot seemed to have went nice. Elijah did come through. I'm gonna be honest. I did not like the wig. The wig looked a lot better than what I thought it was gonna look like. Because I was like, oh, this wig looks trash. But on camera, it looked fine. And I was here for it. Man, I can't keep this down worth nothing. Like, okay. Anyway, and I was here for it. So there's that. Second, what else is happening? Yeah, the pictures turned out to be look nice. Brianna was happy with the pictures. I was happy with the pictures. Moving forward, Elijah, you did a good job. Check your attitude. Ugh. Um, Tasha has a meeting with Shayna, and I'm gonna be honest. Shayna is. I actually believe that Shayna's being truthful, but about the fact that she is not going around spreading lies on Tasha and Tasha's husband situation. Seems like we're not privy to the full extent of this situation that's happening, but I also can understand Tasha's standpoint because it's not about if you think that your husband's lying. I think a bigger question is compounded. Is your husband lying and he's a pastor? How does that work? But I think that your husband is being a bit manipulative because why would you tell Tasha that, let me tell you what's going on, what happened with Shayna, and this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. But, let's just don't tell her anything, keep it to herself. Why would you tell, why would he do that? And he knows at the end of the day, if he does have you do that, you do know that the end result is going to be that the relationship is not going to stay, right? You're fully aware that the relationship between Shayna and Tasha are not going to be cool because you just told me that you just had a whole thing by saying that Brianna's telling lies about my relationship. So, and then so when she cuts y'all off and y'all have this huge thing and she's gonna get crunk, and you knew all of this was gonna happen. So the question is gonna be, what's your motive? We got a glimpse of the husband, and I was embarrassed for her. I was embarrassed that he comes into the house. She's like, let me take your coat because you're a guest. He's your husband. When does your husband become a guest? Hmm? When does that happen? And then you turn around and you apologize for cheating on him, which you haven't seen him in months. And when y'all were together, he'd have sex with you. You talking this whole time talking about how you just hope that when you see him, he's going to have sex all day, all night. And then you come out in lingerie and he's like, uh, cut the mics off, get the cameras out. And he rejects you again. I'm gonna be real honest. Um, I am a shy person, and I will say that there are times where I still have that anxiety of like, well, to my own husband, like, what if, what if he won't like me? What if I do this and he doesn't like it? What if I wear this and he's like, ew, right? and even because I had, even when I was pregnant and was way too heavy and I've lost weight and I'm on a weight loss journey again. And, and I'm like, even at my heaviest, which I'm not my heaviest at the moment, but praise the Lord, I am on my weight loss journey to Downville. I'm hoping to lose 100 pounds. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's how I feel. I need to go back to I want to go back to my um 20 when I first met. So we looking at like, and has it been my first met? Well, he knows when we first met. I don't. So like what, 2009. I want to go back to my OG side. So that's like half of what I am right now. Anywho, um, what was my point? I got a point, y'all. My husband has never, when we were boyfriend, girlfriend, he has never rejected me. Like, even when I look a hot mess, like, or even when I made an attempt to be sexy, there has never been a moment, even in his all tiredom, never. The notion that I am going to be married to someone. And I mean, and I still have that anxiety. So I get that. And so I totally get her part of being nervous. But the idea that my husband would keep rejecting me and we're still having this conversation, so my mom is going to sit here, and I know who her mom is. I actually have her album around here somewhere. It's Paige, but she did a single album. But she's anyway. When they say gospel royalty, I was like, I don't know. That seems like a stretch. That's not the point. Okay. The fact that I'm going to seriously stay or even contemplate staying in a relationship with a man who is like not the least bit turned on by me. If we're gonna stay, there needs to be an arrangement. Yeah, I mean, let's keep it honest. It needs to be an arrangement. It cannot be that I'm okay with him being like, nah, nah, what? You don't want me? I can't get a kiss? I mean, I can't get you rubbing on me at all? Not a hug? I can't get a hug? Can I get a handshake? I think this is a wrap. Like, I mean, you talking about how big this wedding is. I think this is a wrap. Like, who cares? Who cares? He's not doing anything for you. He can't take out the trash because he ain't there. He can't. When he sees you, he can't give you a hug, or a peck on the cheek. I mean, you need a dog. You get more cuddles from a dog. I thought that was, and then I felt so bad for her. Like, that was humiliating. Private humiliation, public humiliation. Girl, I could not. But I also would not have attempted, I would not have got on television and with lingerie and trying to entice him knowing that he rejected me. Because what you're not going to do, rejecting me in private is one thing. What you're not going to do is reject me on national television. Okay, so I felt bad for her, and he's a pastor, and I'm just trying to figure out where in any of this is godly. Because Song of Solomon was written, I'm just trying to figure this out. I think that this is a divorce. And like I said, her mother's trying to pray about God doesn't like divorce. No, God doesn't like divorce, but also God doesn't think, I just don't believe that God, your life here on earth is too short. I don't believe that God would want you to be in a very unhappy marriage, him living in a whole different state, doing a whole different his own thing, you living in a whole different state, you having your own spot. This is not a marriage. This is I don't know. This isn't even a friendship. This is a I catch you. Anywho, Brienne and Tasha actually did have a conversation. And I was just like, wait a second, I need more of this Brienne story because Tasha was talking about how she was dipping and dabbing in drugs and alcohol and how she was singing at the strip club. And Brienne is talking about how she wasn't singing at the strip club. She was dancing at the strip club. I said, no, hold the phone. I need a timeline, Brienne, because the kind of, I mean, my husband always makes jokes about, he's talking about the kind of jobs that I've had in my life, like that has led to before I had a career. Like I've always had some type of job, some type of hustle since I went to college at 16. And um Henry, no, yeah. And so when Brienne kind of interweaves, like, I did that too, I did that too. And I'm just like, man, and you went to law school? Like, help me add this up. And then I'm trying to figure out what was happening. Was Fred Hammond not paying child support? See, like every other episode, I feel bad because, last week I listened to Brienne give her talk with Carlos King, and she was saying how he would help her go on tour, but then she got upset because she would open up on tour with him sometimes. And then how and then when he had a larger show with some of the big names, then her minutes got cut. And so then she would be like, but I'm your daughter. Like, I think that there is an expectation that she expected more of him. And that didn't happen. It's unfortunate that um, some parents in the business are so supportive that they really bring their kids along the way. So someone like a Will Smith and a Jada Pinkett. Will Smith absolutely set his kids up. Um, Will and Jada absolutely set their kids up from as soon as they were walking and talking, they were maneuvering to set them up for whatever type of life in the industry. Sally Field, like, I mean, uh, Jodie Foster. I mean, a lot. Okay, I'm not trying to. Okay, fine. You may not want me to name a bunch of people that you like. Okay, look, I'm not familiar with their fathers like that. Fine, I'll give you more contemporary folks, but for sure, Will Smith is a very good example. Um, Tia, no, yeah, Tia is beginning to. kind of do this with her son and and her daughter when it comes to modeling and stuff. Kamor absolutely did it with her two oldest children. Beyonce is absolutely doing it with Blue. I don't know why she's not doing it so much with the other kids. But the point is, Beyonce for sure, Beyonce and Jay-Z, because I mean that little girl is on both out. Well, yeah, on both albums. If they're not, and if it's she's not singing on Jay's album, she's in the video. So my point is, it's kind of fascinating, and to me, it's a luck of the draw, right? Because um, you have some people like that, but then you have someone like Fat Joe who isn't really completely trying to give that much of a handout. Like you have to be good. Like so, you have both of these arguments of some of them are like you have to be really good, or others who are like I'm setting you up. Run DMC, run. Absolutely. Do I think JoJo is a good rapper? Nah. Diggy? Absolutely. So, I mean, you see, how the family can be very, very supportive. And then you have others. But I think that eventually, I think Fred Hammond also wants her to have some level of tenacity to be able to do this on her own. So I'm weighing both of these sides. But what I'm not going to get is I hate the fact that I'm quoting Chris Rock here, but Chris Rock in one of his shows was like, a job of a father is to make sure that your daughter doesn't end up on a pole. How is it that she felt that she needed to help provide for her, to help around the house and help provide financial support to her mom after the divorce from her father by getting on a stripper pole? Like, run this to me. And then because she's been on this stripper pole, she's looking at these women and she ends up in same-sex relationships. I'm not sure if that's how this works, but okay. Um, I also am not sure how this works when it comes to Tasha's like, yeah, I was into women too, into girls, and they feel, and I was like, oh, we're gonna go here. So then this whole we're gonna pray it away, and I'm really not that interested. Uh, okay. That could be the reason why um Tasha's husband was getting in the middle of her in relationship with Shayna is out of fear, like he didn't really want her to be that close to women. I don't know. But I just find this to be speculative. I find her husband to be a little shaky. I find it's nice that Tasha and Brienne are kind of, or Brie are able to kind of find that healing spot with each other because they both have been through quite a bit. And a lot of this I find to be unnecessary. I don't understand, like I said, I don't understand Brienne's whole story. I'm like, you're a stripper and you're a stripper while you're going to law school. Is this what's happening? Like, is, and Fred, it's different if you decide to be a stripper by choice, but she said she's a stripper by necessity. What were you doing, Mr. Hammond? What did you do? How did you fail your kid? You didn't pay child support and you didn't help out with college tuition. There is zero possibility. I mean, like for me, I absolutely. I mean, if my kids want to be a stripper, she wants to be. They both be strippers. I mean, if that's, I'm not gonna be happy about it. But what you're not gonna do is gonna say that um I was a stripper because my mama um needed help paying the bills. That's what you're not gonna do. What you're not gonna do is you're not gonna put that narrative out. 'Cause that's a lie. But anywho, Nikki wasn't really on this show. This episode, but I mean, they did a whole thing about who keeps good secrets. But honestly, Nikki, I mean, she said something there, but as a whole, the biggest of the issue, like I said, this episode was with Elijah, Tasha, Shayna, and Bree. So with that being said, I mean, this series is really good. It's really messy, and it's also extremely hard to watch. It does bring out some really good issues that we could talk about, but I do think that this is a really hard watch for somebody who is in the church, who likes um who has affiliation with the church, and you're watching, and these are the genius and also the sad part about this show is that you're not watching kids of some people that you have never heard of before. You've heard of these people, and so it makes it really even harder to watch because you didn't know that this level of issues. And I don't know, the Clark family is always in some drama and they're always kind of out there. And so I guess that's somewhat positive. I don't know, but um next week is gonna be good because for whatever reason, Tasha is gonna tell everybody about her horrible of a relationship, which why would you tell people? I would not tell people that my husband doesn't want to have sex with me. Like I would not tell them. I would not at all tell them. I'd be like, it was cool, but we're gonna file these divorce papers. And then Bree, I wouldn't tell nobody about all that you've done in your past. I mean, I like you a lot, but none of these people on this show are to be trusted. None of these people are going to take is going to take what you say and hold it, except Jay. I think that Tasha, the only reason why Tasha is probably not going to tell everybody, and I'm going to be probably I'm going to be wrong. Watch. The only reason why Tasha's not going to tell everybody is because Tasha got her own drama with her own husband that she needs to figure out immediately. Um, with that being said, I think she just needs to become real. She's talking about how she don't want to have two divorces by the age of 40. Okay, I get that, but here's the thing: get the divorce at 41 and choose better. With that being said, have a great rest of your day.